Apple's legacy is built on creating incredible products, but let's be honest, even the mighty stumble. Today we're taking a hard look at one of Apple's most polarizing gadgets, the Magic Mouse. When Apple unveiled the M1 processor, it shook things up and convinced a lot of people to jump ship from Windows to macOS. But here's the catch: unless you're ready to shell out for the absurdly overpriced Mac Pro or iMac, you're left to fend for yourself when it comes to peripherals. So, Apple finally lets you make a decision on your own. But the real question is the Apple's Magic Mouse for you? Or should you be running as fast as possible in the opposite direction? Let's give credit where it's due. The Magic Mouse is a design marvel. It's sleek, minimalist, and slides right into Apple's aesthetic like it was born there. If you're all about that picture-perfect, Instagram-ready workspace, this mouse is a visual win. And yeah, the Magic Mouse is tiny. So tiny, in fact, that it slides effortlessly into your bag. For the traveler, this might seem like a blessing. Need to whip out your laptop and mouse on the go? No problem. But hold on, don't get too excited. That sexy design comes with a serious catch. This mouse feels like it was designed by someone who's never worked a full day in their life. After a few hours, your hand will be cramping in ways you didn't think were possible. If you have anything resembling adult-sized hands, prepare for discomfort. Apple nailed the portability, but they completely flunked on ergonomics. Okay, Apple, we get it. You know how to build premium products. The Magic Mouse feels sturdy, hefty, and downright luxurious. This is not some cheap plastic toy. It's a well-crafted piece of tech that screams quality. But then, Apple goes ahead and ruins it all with some truly baffling design choices. Those sharp edges are uncomfortable, digging into your hand like it's some kind of medieval torture device. And don't even get me started on a charging design. Who in their right mind thought putting the port on the bottom was a good idea? It's the kind of decision that makes you question if anyone at Apple actually tested this thing before they shoved it out the door. Now on the plus side, one of the few redeeming qualities of the Magic Mouse is its impressive battery life. It can go for weeks on a single charge, which sounds great, until you realize that when it does need charging, you're screwed. Thanks to Apple's brilliant decision to put the charging port on the bottom, you're left with a paperweight until it's done charging. Sure, it charges quickly. In the time it takes to take a bathroom break, you'll have enough juice to make it through those grueling overtime hours and make your boss really happy. But it doesn't excuse such a ridiculous design flaw. The Magic Mouse does have one undeniable strength: its advanced scrolling and swiping capabilities. The top surface of the mouse is a trackpad. No other mouse on the market does that. Almost. For graphic designers or anyone who relies on smooth, intuitive gestures, this mouse is a dream. The touch-sensitive surface lets you glide through projects with ease, all while keeping the design clean and uncluttered. But don't start celebrating just yet. Let's talk about the polling rate. The polling rate is the frequency at which your mouse tells your computer where the cursor should be on the screen. Most mice on the market have a polling rate of about 1000 Hz, but brands like Razer push that up to 8000 for gaming mice. Now your standard Bluetooth connection maxes out at about 125 Hz, unless you have some very specific dongle. And here comes the problem. The Magic Mouse sensor operates at a measly 90 Hz, which is simply embarrassing. It means that if you have a 120 Hz monitor, for example, your mouse isn't sending enough updates to make it smooth. Precision tasks? Good luck with that. And as if that weren't bad enough, the sensor is awkwardly positioned near the top of the mouse. Why? To make room for the all-important Apple logo, of course. It's a design choice that's as absurd as it is frustrating, especially if you're trying to make those precise adjustments. And let's not forget about the glaring lack of additional physical buttons. For power users who thrive on customizable shortcuts, the Magic Mouse is nothing short of a letdown. Another noticeable problem is that the Magic Mouse suffers from Bluetooth latency issues. Apple, the company that prides itself on cutting-edge technology, somehow managed to screw up basic connectivity. If you need immediate responsiveness, whether you're a gamer or a professional, you're in for a rude awakening. So, if not Magic Mouse, then what should you choose? What are the alternatives? And of course the answer is, it depends. First off, I think you should go for the Bluetooth mouse. I mean, it's 2024 and wireless mice are finally good enough to ditch the cables on your desk. Just remember that some mice only work with a Bluetooth dongle, which in most cases is USB-A, something that your MacBook might not have. In that case, you would need a dongle for your dongle. So if you're looking for a mouse that will boost your productivity and has plenty of features, you've probably heard of the MX Master from Logitech. It has really good ergonomics, a quiet clicking sound, and a few customizable buttons. Some of you might enjoy the second scroll wheel, and I, for example, absolutely love the button under your thumb that lets you switch each other button to its alternative function. I fell in love with this feature ever since I got it on my Rocket Tian, and I don't understand why it's not a standard yet. Now, the MX Master is $20 more than the Magic Mouse, but if you don't need the second scroll wheel, I'd recommend the Logitech M720 Triathlon, which quietly offers many of the same features at almost half the price. The only problem that I have with these Logitech mice is that they can be laggy, even with the Logibolt dongle. And the 125Hz polling rate really makes me question if you can even call the MX Master series premium. So if you're one of those people who notices latency, or when their mouse lags, there are two great options to consider. First is the Keychron M6. Keychron is known for very stable, low latency connections and high polling rate numbers. This mouse might not look as good as the MX Master, but it costs less and is also packed with features. For example, the infinite wheel option, tilting, and it even has the thumb scroll wheel on the side. But if you're looking for a mouse that also doesn't lag, but is smaller, taking up less space in your bag, look at the Razer Pro Click Mini. Yeah, the first time I heard about this mouse, I had the same thought. When someone says Razer, I think green snakes, flashy RGB lights, and cheap looking plastic. But this mouse actually looks very professional, very premium, especially with that scroll wheel that you can also tilt to both sides. And maybe it's not the most ergonomic mouse, but it's miles ahead of the Magic Mouse from Apple. So the Magic Mouse is a mixed bag. And that's being kind. It's a prime example of Apple's obsession with aesthetics at the expense of functionality. For die-hard Apple fans who value style over substance, this mouse might just be the perfect companion. But for anyone who actually needs a reliable, ergonomic, and high-performing tool, the Magic Mouse is a frustrating and flawed choice. In the end, the Magic Mouse is a reminder that even in Apple's most polished products, there are cracks. Cracks big enough to make you wonder if you're better off looking elsewhere. And as always, thank you for watching this review. I am Miles, you're now miles ahead, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.